welcome back to the quest.
Hey, everyone.
After a long hiatus, the lovely Colleen is back with us.
Hi. Yeah. So thank you, everybody, for sticking around. And for the last 3 weeks, I guess I was in Canada taking care of my mom, but she's doing awesome, which is great.
Thanks so much for all the kind words out there.
Yeah. So it's been like absolutely amazing. But we're back.
Back. Better than ever.
I know. And I'm excited again. Can't even tell you. But it's happy pre-Friday.
Happy pre-Friday.
Right. So we're close. Some people actually are starting a few holidays now, which is really nice. What
episode are we on?
We're on number 19. Wow. This is number 19. This is actually super cool. I don't know where the time went, but it's wild. So right. We are back.
On with the show.
We have a great show today.
I'm Johnny.
And I'm Colleen.
And if this is your first time, thanks so much for tuning in to Backcountry Couples. And if you're not, click that little subscribe button down there. Hit that little dingy bell thing. And, when the lovely Colleen uploads something, you'll know about it.
And that is a good thing to do because
she will hunt you down.
No, there's a little something being posted tomorrow. But all I'm going to say is at the end of the show, we're going to tell you what it is.
Are we?
Yes. Okay. So they know what's a
surprise.
Well, it's going to be a surprise, but we're going to tell you at the end of the show what's happening. It is crazy big. So what are we doing here? Who we got?
Who's in the chat? We got Carlson Adventures. Hey, Doc.
How are you? Doc's in the
Backcountry Tripper. Oh, Mr. Brian J.
Ryan. Oh. And Alan must be friends of Grait Outdoors. I love it. It's going to be a great show. So fun.
Oh, it's like I need to put the training wheels. It's like I don't even remember how the show works anymore.
Right, I know.
I'm kidding. Hello.
Oh, Doc. See, Doc's like, shh, it's all over Instagram. I know.
Oh,
if you've been following our Instagram and who we're all involved in, something big's happening. So we can't wait to tell you about that.
Oh, yeah.
But,
so, anyways.
Again, another awesome show. Who else is in the house? If you want to know about us or get a hold of us in any way, shape, or form, or if you'd like, or if you, and if you know who would, I can't even talk. Who would like to be, yeah. Beep. That's all, folks. No. If you know someone that would love to be on this show, hit them up with our email. Right.
keelquest@gmail.
Or you can DM us on Insta or shoot us an email or whatever, through YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
And we are booking, I think we have the last week of January and then we're into February. So the response is really cool. Thank you so much for everybody has said yes. And we have to thank our
sponsor.
We do. Oh, right. Which way's my hat?
Right here.
This way.
Okay, no, you turn your head this way. See?
I got the McWick.
Yes.
There we go.
McWick fire starters.
Right.
Great company, great product. These little guys.
So
in very festive colors at this time
and the
of the
green
season.
On the green screen.
Oh, they can't even see the screen.
Funny.
That's so funny.
So actually a couple things. So one is each of our guests that come on, we have a little package for them. It's a thank you package for participating in the show. So Patrick Mick from McWick Fires put these together for us, and they're awesome. They love them. We love them. Have a 20-minute burn. Again, John was just showing the festive ones. They are an American company. They are ready to be shipped. So if you're still looking for stocking stuffers, if you still need something to go, they can ship them out to you, which is awesome. So it means they're not sitting on a shipping container somewhere. They are ready to go, which is nice, Yeah, absolutely. And we also have a couple KeelQuest stickers, so we're going to give those out as well, which is fun. So our guests are going to have.
You can't see the tree in the middle because it's green.
It's green. We can't win with the green screen tonight. I feel like we're out of sync a little bit. I don't know what's going on, but
we are never in sync. What are you talking about?
Yeah, we are.
We just winging it.
I know.
The hiking guy. Oh, hey, the brothers are in the house.
There we go. That's awesome. Well, thank you everybody for sticking around. This is fun.
It's been a while.
It has been a while. It's been 4 weeks, but we are back at it, and we are back at it in a big way.
Yay.
Because guess what? We're bringing Canada back.
Oh, Canada.
Yeah, we are. Are you ready for this? So this backcountry couple lives in Ontario that take every opportunity to head further north for adventure. Their outdoor experiences cover everything from camping, canoeing, and fishing. Welcome from Grait Outdoors, Graeme, Cait, and Rook.
What's up, everybody?
Hey guys, well, welcome to the show.
Welcome.
Thanks for having us.
We're excited to hang out with the cool kids tonight.
And you guys said that on Instagram. I was like, oh gosh, I love that.
We totally appreciate y'all coming on, man. It's a thrill for us.
It is. I mean, we just love chatting with like-minded people, right?
Absolutely.
And I think we connected, on Instagram,
yep.
Right? Like just kind of like, hey, same thing, like-minded people. They're doing what we do what you do kind of thing. And
But they got a dog.
they got a puppy.
We don't.
Oh my God, that dog. We're going to talk about Brooke later.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Not everybody has a Nova Scotia
Duck toller. We were just like, I thought Nova Scotia duck toller. We love that.
Say that 3 times
No,
fast.
you can't. No, I feel like that could be the tongue twister, right?
Oh boy. So hey, how you guys doing?
We're doing great. We're pumped to be here.
Yeah, just kind of like Colleen was saying, we're fired up to be like with like-minded people too. We started posting like pictures on our personal stuff, and then it was like, oh, we don't want to always be bugging people, and we all
look like Graeme and Cait are doing again.
Yeah. So we were like, oh, let's start an Instagram account and find people who love the outdoors too and make a connection.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So we're fired up. So thanks for having us.
You're welcome. You're
Cool.
welcome.
Well, you have the floor. Tell us, what is Grait Outdoors about?
Well, I think Grait Outdoors just started because Cait and I wanted to like record our adventures together.
Okay.
And so we've kind of been together on some outdoor adventures for quite a while, but I just thought, we started watching other YouTubers, and I thought that would be really cool to do. And if not for like to share with anybody else, it's just good for Cait and I to look back on it. And then I'm like, oh, some of these pictures are kind of cool. Maybe someone else would be interested in this too.
Yeah. And like also, like even when we watch, like when I rewatch our videos, I'm like, oh man, like I don't even remember that waterfall. But then when you see this footage, you're like, oh yeah, like that was so awesome. So that even just for having it for ourselves, even like kind of at the beginning, and now that we get to share our adventures with other people and like to keep people connected. Like in the summer, we're gone. We're just gone. Like everyone, my friends know, like, oh, Cait's gone. Like I don't even get the text. I don't even get the group text in the summer. So it's just a way to keep people like connected to what we're doing too.
Right.
That's very cool. Yeah.
It
It's just to be out there and hanging with like you said, like-minded people, and it's just
Right.
And now that you're doing it, you're going to be inspiring younger people, and that are going to come down the line.
Right. It is the hope, especially the past 2 years when everybody got outside, right? So even more than usual. You know what I mean? We all know that.
And still more.
Right. But have you always been outdoor people?
I feel like since like as a little kid, yeah. And then I feel like when I was like, teenage years, you're kind of like, I'm from like a small town, Strathroy, Ontario, like really small. I'm
from London, Ontario.
Oh yeah.
Right. So I know exactly where you're at. Yeah.
London's not little.
London, like, when we go there, like we drive through it, and there'll be like Strathroy Caradoc, like on the 402. So we pass.
You cross in Michigan through Sarnia.
Yeah, exactly. We come in through Sarnia. Yep.
Yeah. So like being outside was like a lot of my childhood, but then nothing in this, like my parents didn't take me camping. I didn't like go very much like canoeing or whatever, but into our adulthood, we more so, especially when we started working at camp.
Yeah. So like I started attending summer camp when I was younger too. And then I started becoming a staff member there. And then the person who was running the out trip program was leaving the camp, and they needed somebody to fill in. And so they asked Cait and I, we wanted to go on a trip with them to kind of learn the ropes and figure out what backcountry tripping is all about, and like taking kids back there, which is a totally different beast. But so that's kind of how we got started in it. And, I love the outdoors now more than ever. Again, growing up, I was always in sports in school. So, that was always kind of the big thing. And then now as we were getting a little bit older in summer camps, then the outdoors has kind of taken over a bit for us.
That's cool. Did you guys go to Camp Queen Elizabeth?
No.
No.
The littler Camp Cockwood.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's up in Magnetawan. So
Okay.
it's about 45 minutes north of Huntsville. Kate and I were the directors of a summer camp for.
Gotcha. Oh, fun.
Yeah, so I worked there all growing up, and then like I was director of different programs, and Kate was like head lifeguard, and then they needed someone to take over the camp for a few years while they transitioned. So
this was like when we were supply teaching, so we had a lot of extra time before we
love it.
Contract. So we ran the camp, which was amazing. And then I feel like my love even grew even more. Like I always loved it, but like being outside all summer.
For sure. So when you were saying you were doing all the out trips with the kids and everything, so I know because my kids went to CQE, and I know that it's like your big end of summer thing, right? You used to go on a trip, and then CQE, they used to go to like the French River. That was one of their big trips, and sometimes in the Algonquin. So is that what you guys would do? Like, where were your trips?
Yeah, Algonquin.
So we went in the northwest corner of the park. So we would go in. I think it's access point 1, Kawemog.
Okay.
And then then we would go into like North T, Manitou, and then we would do a whole northwestern loop. So we would do like our leader in training program in the beginning of July. So that was like 15 to 16.
LA stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. And then we would take kids would sign up for, it was called Algonquin Adventure. And then we would take, I think the one year there was 3 of us, 3 leaders, and then 15 kids. So
whoa.
And they're like little. They were like 8 to 12 or 8
what?
Yeah, like little. Like we
Yeah.
had older.
That's
like,
a lot of. That's a handful.
That is. I'm shocked. So it's
It was
not
great.
even like
We
their
have-
last year.
We actually have a video of like that's like our first ever
Yeah, first-
outdoor video.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. It's basically kids running around saying like, I don't have
Where's my socks?
Yeah, and they're fired up.
Wow.
Yeah,
That
so-
is, like, nuts.
And like thinking back to it, I'm like, oh my gosh, like I don't know how prepared we were.
How did you do that? Right.
But I mean, I was a lifeguard, so safety. I had the safety.
Sure.
covered.
Yeah, and then the person who taught us, like who was the director of the camp, he was like super meticulous and like really rigid, had everything planned down to the T. So we had a great kind of mentor in that too.
And I feel like that also influenced a lot of the tripping things that we do now.
I'm sure it did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I want to talk trips. Definitely.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. So,
How
Oh.
did you come up with the name Grait Outdoors?
oh, that's what he wants. He loves that.
Do you want me to go?
Yeah. Okay.
Well, the inquiring minds want to know.
Well, Graeme, Cait, and then for our wedding, you know how it was like kind of like the year that wedding hashtags became a thing. I don't know if they're a thing in the States.
Okay.
Like everyone had like a wedding hashtag. So we had the hashtag The Great Wedding. So then we are kind of like tossing around names and we're like, what about just like Grait Outdoors? Grait Outdoors.
Which totally makes sense. Like,
Yeah.
what other names were you tossing around? I'm curious.
That was like
another-
GC Trippin'.
Yeah, GC
That was
Trippin'.
the other one we were thinking
That
of
was
going
the
with.
strong second, GC Trippin'.
JC Trippin'.
No,
Yeah.
GC.
Oh,
Yeah,
GC.
GC, not
GC.
JC.
Yeah,
We're
it's
JC.
GC.
They're GC. And not juicy. No.
So good. I'm glad we didn't go with that one.
No, I love it. I think it's so cool. It's
It
awesome.
kind of stinks
I
though.
love
'Cause,
playing words.
yeah, when people search us up on YouTube, it just autocorrects to like GREAT. So
I
that
know.
kind of works against us. But yeah, it's basically just our name. And then outdoors, like we've done a lot of trips out west and up north and all these other places too. So we didn't want to like, I know like when Tunis was on, they talked about like freaking nature too and how they didn't want to pinhole their name to one thing. So
Right.
if we do other content or we film other stuff that we want to put up in the future and it's not, in the remote northern Ontario wilderness.
Right. Yeah, for sure. Like
Yeah.
car camping is okay.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Right? Like, yeah, absolutely. We were the
Outdoors.
same way with us. Exactly. So, but let's talk the meanest link.
Oh man.
Let's do it.
So we had Sue Outdoors on here,
Nice.
and I didn't even think about this before. She said that she was section paddling the meanest link, and I was like, I never thought about that before, but that's a thing.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
what you guys were doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're
Okay.
taking like the ultra slow edition of the meanest link. Like it's like it is a really slow, like that was our first like kind of canoe trip. And so we've done it in like partial parts every single year.
Okay.
So this year was our 3rd year doing it. So we've completed, I think, 2 of the or 1.5.
We're listed on the thing.
2.5.
2.5.
2.5. Yeah, we
Yeah.
have done 2.5
We're
sections.
on the website now.
Okay, so you're on the web page for it that says that you've started it, kind of thing, and then okay, got it.
Yeah. So we did from Opiongo all the way to which one is it? Oxtongue. So it's kind of like the southern part of Algonquin.
Yep.
And then we decided to do something that not a lot of other people do, is instead of going like against the Big East. So that's kind of like considered one of the hardest sections.
Okay.
Is going up the Big East. But we thought it'd be easier to travel down, but it really wasn't that much easier. It was still really, really tough. Yeah. So that was a disaster, but I mean, we learned a lot. And then this past year, my little brother we were planning on doing another full 1.5 sections, but my brother hurt his shoulder. So we had to like alter all our routes. So we got one full section done. So we're at 2.5. We're hoping to get it done in 5 years.
And like the first year, like I sprained my ankle, like things come up all like whatever. And every time there's this one section left and it literally only takes a day. It's like you don't even sleep. It's just in the morning, you get up start at like 5 as soon as sunrise, and then you go till like sunset. And it's like the closest to us. It's like the easiest section. And every time we think we're going to do it, like this is the year. And we still,
not
it's
happening.
gonna be like that.
Yeah.
So do you have to do it in like order?
No.
Well,
No,
we're not. So we hope not.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's it's divided into sections, but one of the sections you can do in 2 different halves.
Okay.
So we've done one of those halves, the Huntsville to Rain Lake. So that's a half stretch.
Okay.
And then the other is the Nipissing River over up into Cedar. So that we're missing that. And then we just have to go from Oxtongue to Huntsville, and then everything else is done. So we're hoping to knock that off next year.
Yeah. That's awesome. That sounds very attainable.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
And then, so whose idea was the meanest link? Was it just something because you guys have been to Algonquin a ton of times and you heard about it? And
we wanted to because we were always kind of doing that one loop with camp. We're like, hey, we need to expand like our Algonquin knowledge and experience. And so I think we just saw that was a thing. Like when we were researching, like when, we started following Algonquin outfitters, and we realized, we found out about it, and then we're like, okay, let's try that. And then we obviously got our buddy, Noah and Graham's brother Kieran, to join in with us. Noah's our
your roommate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. That's awesome. Okay. Cool. I think
he was one of our camp staff, and then he needed living, so we're like, oh, we like Noah, he can live with us.
Right. It's easy. Makes sense. He can be part of the packing process.
Yes.
Yeah. Exactly. But you guys were gonna take a big trip down south. Weren't you guys gonna come to the US before those silly borders closed?
Yeah. What
was happening there?
I wanted to do Yosemite, Death Valley, Joshua Tree,
Zion.
I had it all. And Graham's a planner. I usually kind of I'm along for the ride sometimes, but he's like, okay, if you want to do it, then you have to plan it. So I made a Google slides presentation of distance traveled each day, where we're gonna stay.
I like this.
And then I had, you guys probably know, to go to Yosemite, you have to be on the right time, right away to get your site. So I did all that. We had several computers going to get the sites, and we got it all. And then COVID.
It's first come, first serve too. And you got to get there early.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. So
if you could cut out this much of the United States in the middle and go like this, it'd save you so much travel time.
Oh yeah. So we were originally going to fly to BC, and then my cousin, he lives in a camper van. But he goes to Chile to snowboard, and he's like, I need someone to run my van for the summer to keep it going.
And you're like, hi.
Exactly. Yeah. So we had it all planned out. We were going to rent his van from him and then drive down, and then
that would have been epic.
Yeah. And then do California coast on the way back up. But
okay.
COVID, due to COVID.
Okay. And how far into the trip were you when that happened? How for the plan? How close were you?
I had it planned.
We were ready to go.
Everything was booked, and then I just had to the day that I had to cancel the camping. I was like, oh, I can't.
Yeah,
and you were just oh.
Yeah, we did the lottery to climb
Half Dome.
Yeah, we didn't get that anyway. So
okay.
Canceled the Half Dome.
Right. And the national parks here right now are getting kind of wild. Like, I'm sure you just noticed, or it was in the news rather too, that now they're like actually taking reservations for timing so it's not overcrowding. Like, it's wild, which is great. Everybody wants to get out and enjoy everything, but it's busy.
Yeah.
So
that's something I still really want to do.
Yeah, you do. It's a bucket list, right?
Oh, I mean, there's,
you know,
and I mean, truthfully, yeah, I mean, you do the whirlwind tour of, like, you know, see a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of this, a little bit of that kind of thing. But I would suggest focus on one thing. Like, if you go to Yellowstone or go to Yosemite and spend like a week or two in there, there's so much to do.
That is true. We've had whirlwind tours of national parks, and that's tough.
And it's like
even like we did.
Just like, oh, we got to no, we can't. We got to be here, and it's like, yeah, no, we go there, enjoy it, take your time. You know, don't like try to say, oh, we got to be here by X amount of time.
I know,
like,
but
it kind of ruins the experience.
I feel like I'm like you though, Kate. Like, I want to do everything, and I want to have it all done, and I want to have it
planned ahead.
So I'm a planner, right. and we don't ever take a 0 day, like, ever. Because I was like, why would we wait around? There's more things to do, you know. That's actually in my notes, because I feel like you're the same way. But but that's still on the agenda. Good for you. So, but you had a trip of what you called firsts.
Yeah.
Of firsts, and it was to Wabakimi Wilderness.
Yeah.
Crazy. It has been on our radar. So it was a first because it was like a big trip for you guys. It was like more than your average of 5 days, right?
Tell us, what were all the firsts?
Novercraft, right?
Yeah. First canoe.
Okay. Yeah. All right, I'll shut up.
Dog.
The dog. I got the dog on the list.
First trip with the dog.
With the dog. First trip in a seaplane?
Yeah, first time on a float plane.
Plane, right?
I've never been that north. First time being that north.
That's pretty far because you're north of Thunder Bay.
Yeah, like, I guess I've never been that far north in Ontario. Yeah.
Right. Obviously. Yeah. Very good.
So I have a question. So you guys took the seaplane out there, and they, you saw, they strapped the canoe to the seaplane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What allows them to do that? Because here in the States, the outfitters can't do that.
They won't do that here.
Huh, that stinks. Yeah.
Yeah, right?
I know.
It's pretty common in Ontario. Yeah. We've never really seen any issues with it. I'm not really sure around like the regulations around it, but it's really common practice, I think, for a lot of the float planes to do it. And I know, like, where we flew out Wabakimi Outfitters, Bruce, like, he's a legend, and he's the best, and he plans everything. So I know that, like, they run a lot of Americans come over to go into Wabakimi from there, and that is probably a huge factor, is being able to get into the park with your own gear, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah. So they just strap them on, and then we just take off.
Yeah, the pilot just does it right before we go.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And it was just you two? Well, and Rook on the plane.
Yeah, so, like, it's crazy because last year was the first year Kate and I had ever actually just gone on a canoe trip, the two of us. Like, it seems like we've been doing this forever, but we've always had like 10 to 14 kids on the trip, and we've always been like the leaders of the trip and worried about other stuff, and we've never just been able to like enjoy the trips together. So yeah, like, it was just us, and it was like 9 days, 4 hours north of Thunder Bay, getting dropped off in the middle of nowhere. Like, it was very different than anything we'd done, and so that was pretty shocking to get started, for sure.
No kidding.
Yeah.
So how did you plan the trip? Was it something you had in mind already, or?
Well, yeah. So what we did, like, I just started watching YouTube, and like the big three that I watched were like Jim Baird, Ted Baird, and then Northern Scavengers.
Oh yeah, they're good.
Also, like, explore the backcountry, and like Lost Lakes. Like, those are like the big, like, the meccas, I think, of like, backcountry YouTube, and like Joe Robinette and them. But we watched the Northern Scavenger trip, and like, I was just hooked right away. I'm like, this seems like something really, really cool that we want to do, and we wanted to do something where like the portages weren't marked. It was way more rugged. It would like push us in terms of like our mapping, our navigation, our preparation. like tracking, mapping, all that stuff. And so that we just decided like, well, we got to do it at some point. So let's just do it. Let's do now. And so, yeah.
And we were home, like it was COVID time. So we were just kind of home, like dreaming big, right? You just want to be out and doing something. So like the time and the planning we had, because we were kind of like, we had more time to really look. And Graeme did watch like a lot, like we spent a lot of time watching outdoor videos at that time, just waiting for the summer and just hoping that things would open up so that we could even go.
Right. And then you talked with, is it Bruce? That was the guy from the Outfitters you said?
Yeah.
So he say, okay, you guys, you know, you haven't been to the backcountry before like this. So he said that kind of suggested a route for you?
Yeah. So Bruce is like, he's actually known as like Mr. Wabakimi. Like he's like the one who was like fighting to preserve the land. Like he's the one who actually got like the 5 million hectares preserved. And so he used to live on the land there. He built like a shelter and he lived there forever. And he just loves that area. And so they started an outfitter. And so he literally knows the park like the back of his hand. And so we went through like 3 different routes. And then eventually we settled on one that was like, we didn't want any whitewater because, you know, we're just too remote and we don't have that skill as developed yet. Yeah. And then I wanted good fishing, wanted to see lots of, you know, stuff. So he planned an awesome route for us.
That's very cool. Yeah. It's like, go big or go home right off the hop.
I know, right? And then, like, you know how we have the Jeff's maps for like Algonquin? Is there a Jeff's maps for Wabakimi?
No, it's the Bruce, Bruce originals. Like so like we got into
they like written on a cocktail napkin.
I know, right?
No, you know what? They're good. Like I gotta give them credit. But Bruce is very specific. He says they're 99% accurate. And let me tell you, we did experience that 1% like really hard in a big way. But yeah, they were pretty good, like 99% of the time.
So do tell.
Yeah. Wow.
Well, like we were going up the Berg River, and then there's this last section of the river, and it just says like there's a portage around this set of raging rapids, and there just was no portage, and we had like had a hard time finding them because we're used to like the nice, beautiful yellow signs.
Right.
Those are there. So we were like, okay, we already know we need to look for this. It wasn't there, so I lined the canoe up, like, you know, Cait hopscotched around with Rook up the side, and then the map said it was clear around the corner. And so then we go around the corner and it's just like
I can hear it.
Yeah,
I'm like, Graeme, and we were so pumped. We're like, okay, we did it. Like, let's just like, it's getting late. Like, let's just get going. And then I'm like, oh my gosh, I can hear it coming.
So there was like 600 meters of like raging, like there's no way you're getting up or down that. So I had to line the canoe back down the set of rapids, find another portage and go around. So Bruce was like, oh yeah, don't worry, I made that a skull and crossbones now. Nobody else will go.
And so, like Graeme literally like grabbing me like by my face, like it's going to be like we're not going to die. We have, and I'm like, do you think that floatplane can land here? Like, is there no space? Like, is someone gonna be able to help us if we need it? Like, it was real, and we don't really have footage of that because those type of moments, you're just so like into
for sure
what you're doing. I'm not like,
thanks for contributing to the map.
Yeah. Well, if anybody else wants to go, you know, up or down the Berg River, the end, if you see the skull and crossbones, we were able to help out with that. So
there was a portage on the other side that we just missed, and and we had a spot tracker or like a what is this called?
The InReach.
The InReach. Yeah. And so we were able to message. We actually had to message Noah because we didn't think Bruce would be like quick to respond. And we were on in a time crunch, so we messaged Noah to call Bruce to get Bruce to check where we were on the InReach, and then bye.
Wow. Oh, did you have it set up so Bruce could follow you guys where you were?
Yeah, anyone can see our tracks. Like we can send a link and you can actually see like our whole entire route. So
You know that.
Mom and Dad like that.
So did we. So we did 6 days on Isle Royal, right? So we did a backpacking trip, and we sent them to like our moms. And John's mom was like texting, going, "How did you like the beach? Or how was the dock?" I'm like, "What?" It'd just be like every time we moved, we get like a message. I'm like, "Okay, we're never doing that again." It was crazy.
Yeah,
but they loved it though. It was fun. That they really enjoyed to see that for sure. How did you pack differently, and what did you pack for 9 days? Like 9 days is hard.
Yeah. So a big thing was food.
Yeah.
I take on the food role. Graeme takes a lot of navigation. I take a lot of like the prep and the site maintenance and
Yep.
stuff. So our roommate Noah actually had a dehydrator, and we've never
cool.
really used the dehydrator. So I was like, okay, let's get this going. And so we looked up a lot of recipes, and we started dehydrating stuff. So like instead of carrying as much heavy things, the dehydrated food made such a huge difference in the food barrel. I was like shocked.
Yeah.
So yeah, we just dehydrated a lot of fruit, ate all our fresh stuff at the beginning. I also was very wary about taking cheese. Like I'd never really trusted the cheese factor, and I was like, let's try it. So I researched the aged cheddar. I got the right aged and brought the cheesecloth and the vinegar. Like I did the thing, and it was awesome. It lasted.
And it lasts.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
It's like crazy. You're like, come on, how's this possible?
Hard cheese lasts a really long time.
I know. It's
I
not.
couldn't believe it. I was so pumped. So that was like a really good snack. And just some of the meals like I was able to make, like I, crock potted like chili and pasta sauce, and then we put it lay it out on the dehydrating trays and dehydrate it. And it was like phenomenal. Like it was so good. Graeme was like, what is happening here?
Yeah.
Are you familiar with Kevin Outdoors?
Not totally, no.
Okay, check him out. He has
do we have where's that book?
Where is that book? He has a backcountry cookbook and has ton of dehydrated meals.
Yeah.
Really, it's where we got our inspiration from.
So Kevin Ride or Kevin Outdoors, right? Like on Instagram.
Perfect.
It is so you can get on Amazon. Like it was amazing. Yeah. So do you have a favorite meal that you made? Like is there like a recipe that you're like, oh my gosh?
I loved the chili.
Yeah.
Okay.
What was your
That's always a good standard.
Yeah, I Cait made like a Greek orzo somehow back there, and like that was amazing. Like just like dehydrated stuff, and so we had like a
fancy pants.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I did. I got just like the instant noodle,
like ramen,
like ramen, and we always bring peanut butter, so scooped in some peanut butter, and I did some. Grocery store like soy sauce packets.
Yeah. Oh, like a little pad thai kind of thing.
Yeah.
Love it.
Honestly, though, like packaging for oh yeah, that looks good.
Oh,
yeah.
Someone even said it. So Alan said Kevin's book is phenomenal on here.
Okay,
nice.
So I mean, techniques, everything, and it's more than just recipes, but I mean techniques for bear hanging and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Cookware, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, but like
a ton of information.
Yeah, other than like the food prep, honestly, like if you're going for 3 or 4 days or 9 days, like you still need to make sure you have all the staples, right? Like and just we were just more hyper aware of safety, I think, being away from that long. And
sure,
it was really like almost defeating after your first day of the long. Like I know a lot of people go on like really long trips, but 9 days for us was long.
It's a long time.
Yeah, only seeing you go like we like have like all the maps, like planned out. It's like we've gone this far. We have to get here in 9 days. Like that was kind of like a little bit freaky. But yeah, like other than that, in terms of the planning and the prep, it wasn't much different for us for 9 days than a regular 4 or 5 day trip.
And like clothing, like in my dry bag, I'm going for the weekend. I'm filling the dry bag. I'm going for 9 days. I'm filling the dry bag. Like I'm bringing clothes.
Yeah.
So
how heavy were you guys? Like how heavy were all your packs and the food barrel?
Quite.
We don't like. Yeah, I don't actually
50
know.
50 was the pack, I think. 50 was the food barrel, and then maybe another 40.
Yeah, so we had 2 bags, 2 main bags, and then the food barrel, and then the canoe, and then 1 backpack. So we typically only single carry like all of our portages. But this trip we had to double them all because they were they were more manageable and shorter. And for safety, we were just like, there's no point in trying to carry way too much because the portages are short and the terrain is way more difficult.
Yeah, the terrain, like the first time going through, it was like, okay, we're like navigating, like where am I turning? Like where is this leading us? And then the second time, like it was easier to carry the gear, but
yeah.
So even taking the packs first, and then Graeme would get the canoe the second round. So like we can both be seeing like the path the first time.
That's good. You guys actually said something that I never really thought of in one of the videos. You said we always tell each other what's there. Oh, hey, the fishing poles are there, or hey, the the lunch bag, whatever. I'm just saying, so you know what to expect or what not to forget at the end of the portage. I was like, that is brilliant.
Yeah,
communication. You know what I mean? As a couple out there, that's so good.
Yeah. Communication's
key, honey. But clearly that worked. And Kate, really, you Crocs on day one. You were killing
I
me.
don't know what I was like, honestly.
What were you thinking?
And I've had like a history of really bad ankles. Like, I honestly don't know what I was thinking.
So okay,
Come
so, like,
on.
But
like-
the portages were short.
Yeah,
so
they
in
were
my
short.
mind, I'm like, oh. But then when we got there, I'm like, oh.
Right.
yeah. So it's like, and I don't know what people wear on their feet, but this is what we do. So, and this is horrible. I don't ever recommend it, but we always just used to wear Crocs. Like we just wore them because they dry quick. They're easy to slip on and off, but they're horrible. And so I started researching, like, what do people actually wear? So eventually we just bought like $13, $14 neoprene socks. And we bought trail runners because we just accepted like your feet are going to get wet. And so keep them safe. And then trail shoes, like those, like what a game changer. Like if anybody's looking for footwear, like trail runners, neoprene socks, and like you're good to go. So that was like what we wear in the day. So yeah.
It's true. I mean, how many people do you hear, or I'm sure they even think, "Oh my God, I don't want to like get out of the boat. My feet are going to get wet." You know, but we don't have those. We should get the neoprene socks. They do look.
They make a big difference.
Yeah.
Like, I was pretty surprised because I have like my smart wool, which does
Yeah.
a pretty good job too. But the neoprene were like,
yeah, when you just like accept your feet are going to get wet,
Sure.
then you're not worried about the terrain that you're going to encounter.
No.
And when your trail shoes are on tight and you have the neoprene socks on, your feet are staying warm and they dry out super quick. Like the shoes don't, but the neoprene socks do. And then, yeah. So once we accepted that and not being worried about our feet, like it was so much safer too. So yeah.
Right, for sure. And even like leeches and stuff like that too, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Like protection against anything that might be out there trying to get you.
So you mentioned the terrain. I mean, it is pretty rugged and pretty wild out there. But and there's no, like you said, there's no yellow portage signs. There's no little orange tent signs, right? So you're following the map, and it's like, hey, it's a super site, I think was one, or a world class site was the other one, right? Which is really cool. But there was a burn, right? So I mean, I'm sure like the landscape looked crazy.
Yeah. So like the first 3 days of our trip, we were like, is this just what it's like out here? Like, is it barren? Like we didn't know. And then we did learn that we had gone, like our first 3 or 4 days of the trip was in a forest fire burn area. But it's just like, so the landscape is always changing, right? And Wabakimi is known for like insane storms. And so portages get destroyed and rerouted. And like Bruce, again, he's like, this is a wilderness park. This isn't a tourist park. So someone went around putting up signs and he went in and ripped them all down. He's like, this is not what we're about. So like,
wow.
Yeah. So we were constantly getting lost about like where the portage started and where it ended, but we ended up learning a lot about it. So yeah.
And like things to look for, like just looking at cairns and like, is that a cairn? I don't know. Is it just a rock? Like, and then talking to Bruce when we got back about my confusion about it, he's like, 1 rock is a coincidence. 2 rocks, not a coincidence. And then at first I'd be like, oh, 1 rock means no. Like we would come up with all these hilarious like
conspiracy theories about
the rocks.
But,
oh my gosh. Was there any trail tape?
No
trail tape.
Until
Nothing.
the last day, which is like the closest to civilization.
Because he would have taken that down.
Yeah, he's like, no.
He's like, no,
I like what he said in the chat about like if your feet are too wet for too long, they tear easily. I totally get that. Like my feet will get like really, really raw as well. So totally. Like I try to. I mean, I'm bad for it. Like once I get to the site, I just ignore my feet but take them off as soon as you can and try to air them out. But that's a really good point to just to take care of them. So
for sure.
That's when we put our Crocs on.
That's when you put your Crocs on when you get to camp. Right?
Not when you're trying to go down the Big East. That's not a Croc time.
Right.
So on this trip, is there anything that you would have done if you were to do it again? Was there anything that you'd do differently, or any piece of advice you'd give anybody who would take this trip?
Yeah, we went too fast at the beginning.
Yeah. So we got dropped off in like one of the more remote parts of the park, and Bruce was like, take your time. And then just the way the trip and our first time out there, we weren't comfortable with being so far away and feeling like we weren't making enough distance. And so the last like day and a half, 2 days of the trip, we only had like 10 to 12 kilometers, like 6 8 miles, whatever, to finish. And so we paddled out of some of the more like beautiful parts of the park way too quick. And so yeah, just being comfortable with being far away is something that we learned.
The fishing.
And then fishing, like, so Wabakimi is like, you know, fishing like paradise. Like you probably saw in some of the videos, like it's like every second, third cast, like you're bringing
Like,
in,
boom.
Yeah,
Boom,
I think you
boom,
said you were like
boom.
3 for 3 or something,
Yeah,
like right off the
literally, like,
hop.
Honey,
Like,
it's Friday
like-
night fish fry.
I know.
yeah. And so again, I'm completely new to fishing. Like I only bought a fishing rod this year. Like I only started bringing a fishing rod on trips starting this year, and I have never really cleaned fish. So like we're new to it. And so I regret not keeping more fish and
Okay.
eating a lot more fish. So like I was telling Cait like before the trip, like, yeah, don't worry about packing too much food.
Graham says he almost like was like, yeah, like 3-4 nights, like just don't account for food. He's like, we're gonna have fish breakfast, lunch, dinner. And like you just get though in the mindset when you're dropped off in the middle of nowhere and you see how far you have to go. We were just like, we just didn't take the time to like sit and like have a fish fry. Like we're in like panic, like, or like not panic mode, but like,
yeah, you have to get comfortable with just where you are. And so I would do a lot more fishing. And I feel like a lot of people can relate to that. You're like, oh, I'm going to fish so much. I'm going to have amazing fish fries. And then, you know, the natural elements just like, you know, cut down on that time. So those are a couple of things we would do differently. Slow down when we were in like the really remote parts. And then, just take some time to learn how to fillet fish a little bit better before getting into like fisher paradise.
Right. So the slowing down thing though, in the back of your mind, were you guys like, oh my God, we have 9 days to get this route done. You know, what am I going to get stuck here?
Were you like,
mean?
were you calculating like, okay, we have X amount of kilometers to go. We have to make this many kilometers per day kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. And then the big thing though about Wabakimi is the storms. Like we didn't experience a ton of massive storms, but it doesn't really show in the video because it was my first time ever bringing a camera. And so my battery was always dying and like whatever, but we had to cross like massive water crossings. And so if we would hit them at the wrong time of day, you just can't do it, right? Like, so that not only just like slowing down, but like we wanted to give ourselves a little bit of buffer for when you hit that massive water and you can't safely cross it. Like you have to be careful with that. So that was like the other thing too, was like those big, massive water crossings. Those were things that I was really like mindful of when we were out there.
Yeah. I don't like big water either.
No, and we just had to learn like at one point we were coming around I think it was Grayson Lake, and like there was white caps like almost coming over, but you want to angle your boat away from it, and so it was hitting us at 45, but then we had to turn around the peak of the island and go the other way. So our boat had to be like sideways with the waves for a short amount of time. Yeah, so like we had to just like, you know, be careful and give our self buffers.
But then like other times we like Whitewater Lake, remember how perfectly calm it was, and we're like, this is insane. Like
we got to take advantage of it. We got to cover more ground.
Right.
Yeah.
Did your fishing stuff? Did you what do you call it, honey? With the things?
Telescoping?
No. The barbs thing.
Oh, did you debarb your hooks?
Yeah. So some of them we did, like a lot of the ones we used were debarbed. I know that's like a big thing, you know, in terms of safety is making debarb. We didn't debarb a lot of our jigs because that was mainly what we were using. We just had to be like, we did a lot of trolling as well too, like not a ton of casting. It was mainly like drop and catch or like trolling. Graham? Yeah, because Rook hates fishing. So like if I cast, he like jumps out and tries to attack it. So
someone doesn't like to eat fish.
I don't eat fish, but I like to fish.
Yeah.
I like to fish, but okay.
I like to like distract Rook by like making noise or like covering his eyes when Graham would cast, because he's a retriever. He wants to go in and get whatever's
right.
Water.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Graham did some practice casting on the grass, and Rook could care less about the fish, or like the rod and the lure. But then as soon as we got in the boat, he was like,
he's obsessed with water, and so the fact that he was even staying in the canoe was like huge win, and he loves it now. But the fishing and that also cut into our fishing too, because we'd never been on a trip with a dog. I'm just learning to fish, so all of that kind of like, it was like, you know,
a lot.
Wouldn't force us
absolutely to. For sure. Did you guys see anybody or come across anybody
Like the last day we saw like one couple paddling in, or we saw like one or two groups, but for the first 7.5 days, not a soul, like nobody, not even a sign. And after like the second or third day, we didn't even think it just became like standard, like we will not see anybody out here. So yeah, it was
wild.
That's pretty cool.
That is that is amazing.
Like I never ever would think like
there was literally nobody out there. And like so that was the plus. Like when you go to Algonquin and you book a lake, right, you get there later at night, it's chaos trying to find a spot. We were like, no man, we got the pick wherever we want to go. Campsites weren't always great, but they were available for us. Nice.
Yeah, no kidding. I mean, that's give that sense that there ain't
like this is and you guys were in June?
The first 2 weeks of July we were there. It was
July, so
not
crazy.
A soul out there. It was
that's
crazy.
Amazing. And a luxury item. Did you bring any luxury items with you on that trip? Like something you're like, oh, I need to have it, or
a hammock for me. A hammock.
You got a hammock. Okay.
Yeah, I always bring it, and then like I never end up setting it up for 7 of the 9 days. Those times you get to set it up, you're like, I'm so glad I brought this. This is amazing.
Right.
But that would be like my luxury item. I love bringing a hammock. I never slept in it outside, but that would be like for sure like the luxury item. I don't know.
I really bring. I don't know. I bring
a coffee press or whatever.
Yeah, we have like a coffee press. I brought a wet brush.
That's a necessity.
A wet brush mini.
Yeah.
I love.
I bring a comb. You don't want naughty hair.
Yeah.
No, that's like terrible.
Swift, you got a question? He said, "See any bears?" Or any other wildlife for that matter.
We saw nothing. We literally saw like no people or animals.
Like it was like okay, so no, we saw moose. We saw
moose poo.
Yeah, we saw a bunch of moose. We saw bear poo, but we never saw a single bear. We saw like a moose carcass. We saw signs of wildlife, but we never saw bear. We were hoping to see like woodland caribou because that's what Wabakimi is known for.
Yeah.
And like in Joe Robinette's video, they're like swimming beside him and stuff. And, we were like crossing Caribou Lake.
That was staged.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm kidding, Joe.
And no bears. And like again, Bruce from Wabakimi Outfitters, he's like, I'm more worried about bears in Algonquin or anywhere else than Wabakimi. He's like, we never see bears in there. So yeah. We
also had Brooke, so I'm wondering if even though we didn't think he's loud or he's not much of a presence, he could have been more presence than we didn't realize.
Did you hear any wolves or anything?
No, we didn't hear. We didn't hear any wolves. We saw moose a few times, but they're pretty they're not used to any contact with anything that resembles a human. Right. So they either smell you from way far away, or as soon as they're we're hundreds of meters away, can barely see them, and then they're gone. Right. So I think they're way more aware.
That's crazy. So Alan just said you guys use a reflector oven. He says because that's his luxury item.
Oh
no, we don't have a reflector oven. I've seen lots of people use them.
Yeah, we don't have one.
They look amazing. They're baking bread out there and doing amazing
cinnamon
stuff.
rolls. Come on.
Yeah.
Pizza. I know, right?
Something I look for.
That's our next evolution, I think, of tripping is food. I watched
even what we use for our stove.
Yeah, it's just
we have the propane, still the propane canister with the Coleman screw on. I think it's time for us to upgrade.
Yeah, but we watched again, I was watching some Freak of Nature stuff, and they're the food that some of these groups are making are just insane. They look so good. So yeah, we gotta watch some more and learn. I food is sustenance on the trip.
100%.
We are very we don't like to sit around a lot. We're all we're more comfortable being on the move. And more rest days, we get more restless. So it's our style, I guess.
Yeah. So when you're booked, I have to go back a little bit. When you're booking with Bruce, Mr. Wabakimi himself, and did he tell you to make sure you had a cook stove because of a potential of a fire ban at all? Or is that something that
he does? Bruce does a good job of vetting people beforehand in terms of experience. So we had a whole call with him where he goes through your history of paddling and what you're comfortable with. He asks you what type of boat you're bringing in. He asks you your safety setup. So yeah, he does a good job of like vetting, and like he has a really good sense of like, and he won't cut people if they're not experienced. He'll just like plan a more accommodating route and outfit them to a better extent. So
Okay.
like if you're going to Wabakimi, like you go to Wabakimi Outfitters, like that's who, like, you know, the maps, like the planning, the takeoff, like the logistics, lodging before and after, like that kind of stuff. So yeah, I would definitely, they do a great job making sure you're awesome. You have everything you need.
So would you go back?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Right after it finished, I was like, oh my gosh. But
yeah.
like now that we were not as
right. What is next? For
like,
sure.
It's a paradise. Like there's nobody out there.
Yeah.
So once you get used to that feeling of like being in an area where nobody else is, then yeah, you just get comfortable with that. And then there's so much more to do in there. And like now that I like Johnny was saying, like anything you would do differently, like man, like it would just be a fishing like extravaganza if we were to go back. So yeah, we would definitely love to go back. And Bruce loves Rook. He tried to like steal him from us. So he was like to Margaret, like, I'm bringing him down. Like, go hide Rook in the room. We don't like.
And you're like, no.
Yeah. So
come on.
We talked like so during. I don't know if you saw in the videos, like there was like it got really smoky in our last couple of days.
Yeah.
I was getting really like worried because I've never like been in that situation. So I was like, please just message Bruce just to make sure. And he's like, don't worry, like we will let you know if anything, and I will come rescue you. Well,
yeah,
definitely Caitlin and Rook.
Sorry,
wow.
Don't worry, at least Caitlin and Rook I will.
That's right. Yeah. We like you, but you know.
He's good. He's good stuff.
Wow. That sounds amazing.
Mm-hmm.
So I have never heard of Chinaguchi Waterway Provincial Park.
Mm.
Yeah.
Like never. And then but it's part of Temagami?
Yeah. So it's more in the southern part of Temagami. And so again, like Lost Lakes on YouTube, he did like a huge series on Donald Lake where he spent like a week just on Donald Lake in the Chinaguchi Waterway. And so that was kind of like our inspiration for the trip. And then 50 Canoe Routes of Ontario by Kevin Callan.
We have that book too. It's good, isn't it?
Yeah. So the Donald Lake Loop is in there. And again, like the stars aligned on that trip in terms of weather and in terms of just like what we were able to do in there. So yeah, that's a gorgeous spot. Yeah, for sure.
But you didn't take your puppy on that trip.
No.
Yeah, so like we had a different
puppy.
Yeah, we had a different puppy on that trip.
My brother.
Your brother. I know. Yeah. Sorry, Sean.
Yeah, can't sit still. So we had Sean who loves to fish.
Yeah.
Right. So if we brought Rook, it would be hard to balance like the fishing.
Sure. Makes sense. Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
But like Sean has like never really caught a fish, like real fish with us. And so that was like the goal. It was like, we are just going to fish. We're just going to try and fish. And
hammer him out. This is it.
And we had some pretty good luck, but like my video of like where I filmed my forehead for like 2 hours, like we caught like so many fish and then like it was just my forehead. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But I'm so glad you put that in the video because that is like the real deal. Like, come on, we all do
or like
weird like that.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, I'm not out here to, like again, like Kate and I make these. Well, I make the videos just so we can remember them for us. I want to remember the fact that like I filmed my forehead for 2 hours, or like I fell in the water. Yeah, like just like stuff like that. So it's just like
that was a great scene.
Yeah. So it's just, like we're not out here to try and impress and be like these like thanks, Alan. Shout out to Alan. He always watches and comments. So thanks. Yeah. So it's just like we're out here just having a good time. We're not experts in anything, but we feel like hopefully we can make it more accessible for people too. So like knowing that like mistakes are made and not everything is edited out.
Right.
It's just kind of comforting, I think, for people to see too.
It's just because you're real people doing real stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? I think that's what resonates with most people. Right.
Yeah.
And then that a couple can get out and do it together. And I think that's
survive and not
right.
And survive, right.
Another on the books, honey. We did it.
And you know what? Like It's true. And like an interesting thing is like I thought we would have way more conflict in Wabakimi, but we had no conflict because when one person would get like elevated and worried and upset, the other person doesn't have a choice to get on that same level. You have like, you don't have an option. Like you have to be that supportive person, or you have to be there for them. You can't, where we engage in like more conflict is like, you know, littler stuff when you're comfortable out there and things aren't really going that wrong, but they're just more annoying and frustrating.
So true.
And
or you put on Taylor Swift.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Time on the playlist.
Yeah.
My playlists are never
Shake
good.
it off.
Shake it off. Shake it off.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But John was looking. Oh, go ahead.
I do have a quick question.
Oh,
just to want to go back to the previous trip.
Yeah.
How was the bugs out there?
Yeah.
Which one? Wabakimi or Chiniguchi?
Wabakimi.
Zero.
Wow.
Like, well, okay, maybe not zero. Like
Graeme says 0. Bugs don't care about Graeme.
They don't like me either.
They hate me. So I did wear
they
my
love you.
Or sorry, yes.
Yeah. Right.
I hate them. I did wear my bug jacket.
We had one night where there were like black flies, but like
they weren't that bad though compared to
that's
like,
interesting.
Like no, like I wore bug spray like one day in Wabakimi and that was it. And like so if you want like a more bug-free trip, like Wabakimi is actually like on Canadian Canoe Routes, the website, like it's like a blog forum or whatever, and you research Wabakimi, and they're not really known for insane bugs when we went in July, I guess.
Yeah. Interesting.
Which, that's like peak bug season.
I know.
Usually
So we're gonna go back now to Chiniguchi because
I had a bug question.
I know you did. But one of the questions we love to ask is, have you ever celebrated anything in the back country?
My 30th birthday.
Yeah, you did. Happy birthday.
I really wanted to like spend it with like I wanted to spend it doing something I love, first of all, and then also with my I wanted to hang out with my brother and his girlfriend, and that was like the weekend that worked for everyone to go on this trip. And I was like, what better way to do it than with like hanging out with my brother? And
absolutely,
4 of us like as a little crew, and so it was fun like making my birthday cake cookies and packing them, and my little desserts that I would do that I would never take on like a 9-day trip, but maybe I would now that I realized how easy it was. But
I don't know, didn't you dehydrate coleslaw or something?
Don't recommend that.
Don't do okay.
I was gonna ask that.
I know, because we talked about that, and I was like, I've never seen that before. I'm like, I've got to ask that question.
It wasn't great.
It was a flop. I think some people do it because I think I saw it from somebody on YouTube. But like,
maybe I didn't do it well.
Like most things, I try to like, I watch everyone on YouTube. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna do that, and then like, completely bomb it or something. But
I know, right?
GoPro was a wreck.
Yeah. And then like the GoPro was dead at this moment while we were waiting for a couple to leave a site. They were leaving and we were just hanging out while we were waiting. And like, there was a huge cliff and I'm like, oh, I don't know. And they're like, oh, you're almost like, or no, they said 29-year-old Cait would do it. And
nothing like peer pressure. Okay, Swifty wanted to say, I missed that. Dehydrated what?
Coleslaw.
I thought it was good fish tacos. It wasn't.
I know, but I was like, that's ingenious at first.
It'd have to be like super
I know.
cut cabbage.
I don't know.
Sure go down to like that.
I don't know. But that was
didn't have a good taste.
I got it.
But like if anyone's interested in Chiniguchi, like Tamagami Outpost is a new connection. They just opened up this year.
Used to be a summer camp.
And it used to be a summer camp. And so a bunch of the people that used to go to the camp like bought it and took it over. So they're just in operation. But man, that team there is so knowledgeable. Like as soon as we got there, we adjusted our whole route on where to go. And like we were so thankful. So like they bring like intangibles. Like we kind of like half planned our route, but then they showed us, we used Jeff's map, but then they showed us like hotspots and where to go and like, gave us a drink when we got there and gave us a tour. And so like, if you're looking to explore that area, I recommend Tamagami Outpost.
Cool.
They're on Maskinonge Lake.
We wrote it down. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Really nice, like people, and they're still like working on it. And I think they want to do it like a little bit bigger than what it was when we visited. So it'll be cool to see how they have come along. Like,
That's
It's
really
summer.
awesome.
I want to go back. It was so nice.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
anyone that you want to bring on a trip, like on their first trip or whatever, like it was so perfect for
It
that.
seemed pretty solid for sure, like not crazy
Yeah.
or whatever, but still a
Mhm.
nice stage, a little bit of elevation kind of stuff going on. I like that.
Yeah.
And you guys both paddle with different paddles.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Right?
we do. Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
Kate, you got like a Badger, and what kind of paddle do you have, Grant?
I have a Hunter and Harris. So yeah, they're awesome. I love their paddle. I actually have like the Novacraft, like their special edition one, just because Hunter and Harris went out of business during
Yep.
COVID, or they shut down temporarily or whatever for a year. And I was so sad because like that's the paddle I wanted. I listened to, they had a podcast called Under the Yoke. I don't
Yeah.
know if you guys have ever heard that, but
100%.
Oh, yeah.
they don't make any more recent episodes, but Hunter and Harris was on there talking about paddles, and we were looking in to getting paddles. So yeah, Kate uses a Badger, and I use a Hunter and Harris Otter Tail, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like mine for power at the front. Like I feel
Okay.
like-
Okay. That's nice.
Is yours an otter tail too, Kate?
Pardon?
Is yours an otter tail
Or
too?
yours is a Norseman, isn't it?
Yeah, no, mine's
No.
Oh yeah,
mine-
Norseman.
Yeah.
Norseman. Yeah, yours is long and more. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. We have Hunter and Harris paddles too. We love
Dude.
them. Like,
Yeah.
Milanda's like the best. She's just amazing. And we were so thrilled when he got back into business too. We're
Right.
like,
Yeah.
Too bad
Yeah.
no more customs though.
yeah, he's doing more custom stuff. That's okay though. Whatever. We were lucky.
I know.
John knows you guys had solar panels that you guys brought with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what is that like for battery banks or something or what?
Yeah. So I was watching, and like again, like Northern Scavenger, they and like the Baird Bros, they have these like super like high-end ones. But
Okay.
Adam Romano, I don't know if you know Adam Romano Explores. I think he's on.
Oh yeah. Yep.
I watched some of his stuff where he was going through Algonquin, and he had like a smaller solar panel. So yeah, we brought a solar panel, and what we do is we charge like the GoPro batteries on
Oh.
those.
I just remembered my luxury item. Keep
What
going.
is it?
Oh
Okay.
yeah.
Tell
Okay.
everyone.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah, so I have to charge that, and I charge our phones just because that's what we use with the InReach. So I would quickly like charge those. But and then we'd bring 2 power banks for the GoPros. Like that's mainly what we would use is like 2 power banks. And then the solar panel, anything that connects with the USB or whatever. I just ordered one on Amazon. I forget Backcountry Paddler says, Adam, he's got some good stuff. I don't remember the name of the solar panel off the top of my head, but it was one on Amazon that was just like highly rated. So yeah. And Kate's luxury item.
So after the InReach gets charged, the next most important thing to get charged is my noise maker.
What?
Yeah, that's my luxury item. So
I'm afraid to ask what's the
What's
noise
on
maker?
the noise maker?
It's just like Kate sleeps has to have a fan on at all
he's
times
a fan.
for like white noise. Yeah, and so in the
it's
backcountry,
this tiny little thing. It's like this big. It does take up a little bit of space.
It's just white noise.
And it's just white noise.
So if you're not by a waterfall and it's like really quiet, just like the white noise.
And people might hate me, but like people might be like, "Oh my gosh, you can't just listen to the beautiful silence." No, like I literally need.
You
the
need to
white
have it. Okay.
So is it like it's kind of like one of those little soundbite things? You got like the ocean sound or
Yeah,
like
is
birds
it?
singing
I like
kind of thing.
just oscillating fan.
Yeah. Yeah, the wind does cut it on some nights, and then like if you buy a waterfall or whatever, but yeah.
I can't do the silence because I hear like every little like crunch.
There you
Yeah.
go.
She'd be like,
That is
Graham, make
funny.
some water noise.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Fan noise is important. Yes. See?
There you go.
They get it.
And
Yeah.
then
So that's
Swift-
my luxury item.
Don't where to go. Swifty went to go look, and was that
Anchor,
what
that's it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Thanks, Swifty. Yeah, Anchor, that's the one.
Okay.
Yeah.
And brothers, can't we get it? We have battery powered personal fans for sleeping, even next to the river. Oh my god!
There you go. It's
Come
one of the
on.
things. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, this is getting out of control. Below a degree.
I know. I did have Rook's breath going.
Yeah. Yeah. Rook's panting.
I feel like I need to get Rook
Mark.
before we end
Oh
off.
my god,
too.
that's funny.
Yeah.
What's Mark say?
I need a fan on the home, whatever considered in camping.
There you
Yeah.
go. Just upped your game, Mark.
Yeah. Yeah. It's lucky item, I think.
That is so
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, get the puppy. And then Graham, while you're here, I don't know if you're wearing that hat right now. I love that brown hat you have with the maple. Okay, who makes those?
Roots. So
It's a roots hat?
what's that?
It's
Yeah.
a roots
So
hat? Okay.
I own like 6 of just this hat, just
That's
like in
so-
a few different colors, because
Yeah.
my head looks funny in a lot of headwear. So like I literally have like 6 of the same hats, and so I just rock a new one and like
6 of the same.
See,
hat.
I want the brown one. I didn't know they were from Roots, so that's fine. I'm a Roots
Yeah.
girl, so we're all good.
yeah,
Perfect.
yeah,
Guess who's going online tomorrow?
That guy.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah,
Puppy!
yeah. So here's
Oh.
the
Kenny's
scar.
got a pink nose.
I know he does. Hi, Brooke. Hi, puppies.
Yeah.
Aww.
So here's
So
our
how'd you
adventure
get,
button.
where'd Rook come from?
So there he was with a family that had some Dalmatians in it as well. So there was 2 duck tollers and 2 Dalmatians, and then one of the Dalmatians was being especially kind of aggressive, and Rook was starting to shut down. And so the family was great, like their dog trainers, like, you know, awesome people, and they were just looking for a home for a dog that needed you know, needed a little safe
Aw.
spot. So yeah, he came to us in April. And so he's 2.5 when he came. Yeah, so he's just over 3 now.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you only had it for that short time frame, and you said, "Guess what? We're going on a big canoe trip, and we're going on an airplane."
Yeah.
And
exactly.
like, come on.
Yeah, he had like the earmuffs on and
I
everything.
know, it's so cute.
I know, I saw that. It's
Yeah.
like, that's cool.
Yeah, you're like doggy earmuffs. I know.
And we did like some canoe training
Did you? Okay.
like on the grass to start
Yeah.
Yeah.
at home,
Like
and
kind
then,
of get in and
and then we went out just like on the Welland River, and
Yeah.
right. Okay, and then he has a life jacket.
yeah.
Yeah. So
Southern
the
has
life
the life
jacket
jacket.
pack thing is like something that, you know, people debate. Like he's a Nova Scotia duck toller. He doesn't
Right.
need a life jacket for swimming. But like it's not for like we're worried about him like swimming. It's more
Right.
so like he jumps out of the boat at like a duck or a goose or something. It's got a handle on it, so you can just like quickly grab the handle, get him
Right
back in the
on.
boat.
Right.
And then it's also just for like certain attachments we like to put on or whatever. But
And having his pack is just a nice spot to have all of his stuff.
yeah.
so did he carry his stuff?
Yeah, like half the time I would say he would carry his pack.
Sometimes it was more annoying to like put it on him.
Yeah.
Like it's easier just for me to quickly pick it up. Like if it's a short in and out, in and out, in and out section, it would be easier for me just to like carry it.
Yeah. The other thing
Right.
with the life jacket is it's good protection on portages if you're in a really sketchy spot.
That's
So
actually a
like
good
for like
idea.
exactly like branches and things that are poking out. If he's there.
Yeah.
And then in the sun,
didn't
like
think
if
of
it's
that.
blazing hot, you take off the life jacket. Rook likes to sit either back with me or right at the front with Kate. He's so small he fits in, and you
Yeah.
just unfold the life jacket for a little bit of shade. So
For a little shade. That's a good idea.
yes, it's like multi-purpose. Like it's a life jacket, but yeah,
Right.
it has a lot of other
Or if
purposes.
it's like really wet on the bottom of the canoe, like there was like that stretch of rain, he was like really wet. He could like kind of prop up out of the bucket of like the water at the bottom of the boat.
Yeah.
Right. That's true. Did he have his own bed with him or a sleeping bag or pad or anything? Or you guys didn't do that? Or
We brought
No.
a pad that like he is like an overheater. Like he is obsessed with the cold. And
Okay.
so he had a little pad that he did use. And again, every dog's different. Like a lot of people
Sure.
like to train their dogs different ways for what they need to do. So we just had to find what worked for Rookster. And yeah, he doesn't love. Yeah,
I know, right? Like you guys lucked out.
Yeah, he
I'm
literally.
down now.
So like our new video that we're working on is our Algonquin trip that we did, and
Okay.
like he was like amazing on that trip. Like we had so much portaging in such long days, and like he just lived the dream. Like he was obsessed with it. So yeah, it was good.
The
Wow.
longer paddle days were actually harder.
Yeah,
for
he
him.
needs the portaging.
Yeah.
Right.
And he did a lot, like I think we said in the video, he did a really good job like finding sometimes the portage, because to us it looked overgrown, but he could kind of see like the trail path or whatever on the
Okay.
down lower, and I was like, okay, this way, I think.
Because Algonquin is busy. Do you know what I mean too though? So I mean like there's
What's the most popular part?
I know there's like there's so many like so much traffic and other dogs and everything else.
Yeah,
And-
and we were like, sometimes we weren't sure kind of like etiquette, right? Like having him on a leash or not, but
right.
we didn't really see that many people.
No,
Okay.
like we would see some here
Algonquin.
and there, but he stays close to us, and he like again like different dogs are different, and anything can happen, obviously.
Right.
And you have to weigh like the risks of what like you're supposed to do. But like we have him on leash at like the busier spots, obviously, and
Right,
everywhere. But
right.
like our trips are more interior where, I mean, Algonquin, people were everywhere this year, but yeah, like there was less situations than you would think where opportunity for conflict with them.
Right, for sure. And winter camping, we're approaching that season.
What are you talking about? It is the season.
Well, it's not winter right now, though.
I ain't no.
You know?
It's 60 degrees and no
It
snow.
is. It is. I know. Is
Yeah.
that on your radar?
Yeah, so we had like during COVID in my parents' backyard, they have like 4 acres. So we built something we just called it the fort.
Yep.
And it was really just like a shamble fort. Again, I was watching YouTube and I thought I could build a shelter. We never built a shelter. But we would basically go out there and hang out during COVID and like, make meals and stuff. But we did buy a hot tent and a stove. So
Ooh.
I don't know.
Yeah.
What kind?
What did you get?
What did we get? What? Yeah.
Snow tracker?
Esker?
Not Esker. We've got the
Esker.
Esker 12 by 12 with the stove.
Ooh, nice.
That's big. That's a party tent. You can have like people.
Yeah. So the whole thing is like, yeah. Like we would have our nieces and nephews. We're trying to get them in the outdoors, but we want them to be enjoyable. And so we got the hot tent and we're building like a tent platform. So they can come out and like have hot chocolate and chill, but then we can also take our hot tent into remote locations too.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Love it.
Like I'm like, oh, I don't know if like, I don't know. You think, oh, I need to use this yet, but we're gonna have it now for like years. So
Yeah.
it's not,
100%.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, you take care of it, it'll last forever.
Right. Was it a long time like to get it? Like the wait time for it?
0 days. Algonquin Outfitters. Yeah. I just called them up. I was like, do you have this tent? They said, yeah, we got one. We got a stove to go with it. And boom, shipped it out here in a week.
Wow. You got super lucky on that. Good.
Yeah.
For you.
Algonquin Outfitters, like
they are good.
Like the website is really tricky to navigate, to be honest. You can't really find much in terms of what gets sold, but you just call them up. I was like, do you have this? Do you have this? Boom. And it got done. Cause the problem was lots of tents were available, but no stoves. So,
okay. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So when you do your hot tenting, are you gonna get up every 2 hours and stoke the stove, or are you gonna be cold camping?
That was like a big debate. I think it was
is.
Was it on Canoe Hound?
It was Canoe Hound. Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Because Pine Martin, he's a big believer in this. Okay, go.
So there was like the 2 camps. One was like basically, from a safety perspective, not to be getting up and stoking the fire, and then the other people on were saying, well, you got to stay warm and things like that. So I don't know. I think we just have to get out there and see what we want to do first. But obviously, we want to make sure we do a lot of reading up and see what is best practice. We have warm sleeping bags.
Hi, Mom.
The cold, so yeah. So
My mom's in the chat.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Hi, Mom. That's cool.
Yeah.
I know. It's
So yeah, I mean, we're on the side of Pine Martin where I don't, you want to get a good sleep.
Right,
so,
right.
I mean, yes, it is another investment on top of the investment you made for this hot tent and stove to get that style of bag.
Because we cold camp.
Right.
Yeah, we just use a three season tent.
Yeah.
And we have negative 40 marmot bags. So
nice. Yeah, that's awesome.
They're like this thick.
Yeah, they're like a big pillow. It's awesome.
Yeah, just think.
Well, I would be paranoid. I feel like in the night about the stove. Like I would just naturally. I feel like I would be like up if the stove was on anyways. I'd be worried about when I got to stoke it next. So I think we would probably err on the side of just getting through the night and going.
Right.
Well, you're in a 12 by 12. You'd be too far away from the stove
That
to
is
worry
a
about.
Big tent. That's crazy.
Yeah,
that's
we got
pretty
the big
awesome.
one. Yeah. So
what is your next trip?
That's the question.
We honestly there's a few on the radar. Like I think we want to move a little bit. I mean, we have to obviously finish the Meanest Link at some point, but Crown, Rapids and Crownland, Rapids for me, and then Crown land camping, Temagami. I think I want to really get into the heart of Temagami and do more of that.
I need to go climb a mountain at some point.
Yeah, Cait wants to go climb some mountains. So
there you go. That's cool.
Yeah.
But
yeah. So I think our next trip, probably the Temagami area, probably. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. We haven't really sat down and looked at it.
We need to soon though, because
Yeah,
we
you
got
gotta
on the reservation
Yeah,
website.
if you need
plan
permit.
it up, and yeah, for sure.
Yeah, like 2 weeks ago, you should start planning.
I know it's nuts.
It's
Yeah.
crazy.
I don't know.
But I want to do more like I want to do some whitewater this year. So I have some whitewater like solo paddling experience, but I need a lot more. So
Well, what are you guys? Maybe you guys should take some lessons or something.
yeah. So like
I don't know how much I want to do whitewater.
I
Yeah.
don't like it. I ooh and ah the entire time. I'm like, ah.
As in, yeah. This is Colleen. We get to a section of whitewater. She goes like this. I said, put your paddle back in the
my
water.
paddle out of the water. I have no idea why.
Yeah. So I know whitewater is a thing that like lessons. So like one of the people that we worked with at our summer camp, he's like, I haven't got my head wet in 10 years. And so he takes me out and, he puts me through the ringer. He's probably a little more confident than I am. Yeah. 50 says the Petawawa. I'm excited to see some more footage of that. But like, so he's like our old maintenance guy. He's going to show me a little bit more. And then there's a few other routes we want to get on. But yeah, a little bit of whitewater. And then I want to do another 10 to 15 day. The Missinaibi, I think, is one that like seems really like, attractive or something remote. But I want to have some whitewater skills because, and this is what like Ted and Jim Baird say all the time too. It's like, you don't know if you're not like, you just have to try something a little bit, be safe, obviously. But if you can start paddling some whitewater, then it just opens up so many more opportunities of where you can go. So that might be it.
It does. Absolutely. Yeah. No, that's awesome. Very
Yeah.
cool.
I gotta say, like, man, this is really cool. Like,
This has
people,
been so fun.
people commenting and like,
Is it your first time doing something like this?
You're a first media.
Oh, shut up! You guys are like professional.
Text me being like, you're famous.
Oh, jeez. I told you, man. It's just a couple people sitting around the campfire with cold ones.
It is. It is like a campfire chat, and I mean,
Nice.
it's what, an hour and 15 minutes. That like flew by,
Mhm.
right?
Awesome. It's a lot of fun.
That's awesome. I just have one more question. What about Michigan? Because that's where we live. We're in Michigan. Is anything on the radar there for you? Like, have you?
We should though, because it's kind of like,
And that's the
on the
beauty of this
corner.
community. Like, we don't know a lot of the areas that are out there. Even like Backcountry Paddler talking about the Adirondacks all the time.
Oh yeah, that's his thing.
Like we know that like that's an awesome spot to be. So like we love that we're connecting with people from these different areas so that we can go there and be seeing a good time. So I mean, we'd obviously be down to go to Michigan. We're both teachers, so 9 to 10 weeks in the summer that's available. So
I keep thinking of the Michigan commercial. It's like crystal blue water. Do you know what I'm talking?
It's pure Michigan. Yeah.
It's crystal blue and it's crystal cold too.
It is
just like up in Tobermory and stuff like that.
Right. That's cold water up there.
Yeah.
We'll have to reach out to you guys to give us a little experience, like a first taste of.
We'd love to have you. Absolutely.
Yeah,
that's
awesome.
so fun. You guys have been great. I can't believe, and see, it went fast.
Yeah, it did.
Right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's really fun. That's awesome. Well, thank you very much.
Whoa. I got one more question.
I love it.
Have you had have any of the trips that you've done so far, or prior to even filming, have you had any situations when you were in very inclement weather?
Ooh.
Like I think, like our latest, our next video series we're doing, I think we're gonna call it like Through the Heart of Algonquin. We went from Opeongo up to Cedar, like through like up the Crow River, and then we went down like Swifty. I don't know if he's familiar with this area. I think he was on a different section of the Petawawa, but then we went Cedar all the way back and looped around the Crow River and the Petawawa, and then back in. It was like 26 kilometers of portaging, like long trip. But on that, like we did experience, like we were windbound on Opeongo for a full day.
That's a big lake, though.
It's
Yeah,
it is.
Did you guys hug the shoreline?
Well, we did like there's like a 6K portage and then 2 smaller ones. So we did that by like 10 a.m. and then there was no chance to like we had an extra day and we're like we're not risking it, so we're just gonna pull off. Our first day in Wabakimi, we were like in a massive storm.
It was
And-
scary. Like we should have pulled off, but we kind of with the map, we were like, okay, I think it's
we were like
5
10,
more minutes,
5 or
10
10
more
minutes. But then the
Okay.
water was like this, like it was that low. And so we were paddling in the mud and we were like almost stuck.
Oh
And
my
so-
god.
Yeah. So we eventually got through it but it was a massive, massive storm. And like, we just had to like stay calm and not panic and just like one thing at a time. So yeah, weather is one thing that like,
Storms are like, I'm not a fan of storms to begin with, and they're like, it's
Yeah.
freaky in the tent, and
Sure it
everything's
is.
louder in
Yeah.
the tent too, right? Or
Yeah.
worse.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
we can attest for that.
Yeah, nothing like super like, well, yeah, big thunder, like big
Yeah.
storms.
Sure.
mhm.
That's awesome. I didn't know you had another question, honey. I'm sorry.
Well, hey,
Yeah, anything else?
we have sub questions.
We do. Are you shocked that I had the 2 pages of notes on YouTube?
That's
Of
awesome.
course.
It is awesome.
Do you guys have a camp juice of choice when out on the trail?
Oh, what? Sorry.
We
Camp
had,
juice. Have you heard of camp juice before?
Camp juice, like
Like an alcoholic drink.
Yes.
Oh,
I don't know. We don't really
We
bring a
haven't
ton
really-
out there, to be honest.
For my birthday, we brought whiskey.
Yeah, I think we had like
And then
did some hot
And
toddies
then
or something.
I bought like just like the squeeze iced tea and the lemonade, like the iced tea and the lemonade, and like squeeze.
Okay.
I feel like we haven't really.
Yeah,
we
don't-
brought like Fireball.
yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, so
That's
yeah,
fun.
not a ton on the
Yeah.
on their trips.
Yeah.
but-
Do you have a suggestion?
We bring tequila in a platypus.
Ooh.
I
Wow.
know, but I'm telling you, it's good when you're like done a portage or you get to camp or whatever that is.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah,
Something.
Behind that.
Yeah.
I know. That's our little treat. That's our weight that
Yeah.
we like pack.
beer's too heavy.
We have brought beer though.
Yeah, I believe
Yeah,
it.
we have.
Okay,
It can be-
okay. When we say we,
That oh
we
him,
mean-
not me. I don't care that. It's way too heavy.
We had to bring some last year to check off part of like the Meanest Link. We had
Yeah.
to enjoy his Swifties like
Yeah, Bill Swift,
Bill
who
Swift's,
had the
like
root.
his original drink was a cream ale.
Yeah,
Cream ale
so we had to
beer.
bring one of those, and so part of the link is you have to drink it on his site.
In
but
his favorite site.
yeah, someone was on his site, so we kind of had
Drank it
it
somewhere
and,
else,
and
but-
kept going.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah,
Where did we go here? Here we go.
nice.
Oh,
Sounds
yeah.
good.
That's perfect for right now. Remember, that'd be good for the hot tent,
Yeah.
right? That's good for the hot tent. I like that.
Mhm. Oh yeah.
And now everyone's gonna start chiming in. Oh geez,
Oh yeah.
bourbon's lighter than beer.
Tastes better too. Of course not.
That's true. That's true. That is so fun.
Too fun.
Ah,
Well, guys, thank you so much for coming on tonight's show. It
Yes.
was awesome,
Thank you.
and to learn about your story and the trips that you've done is like really, really
I love it,
cool.
and I love how you like are outside of your comfort zone and like and want to try and push. And we do the
yeah.
same thing too. And every time that we do something together, we push ourselves. Like it's amazing, and we learn every time we learn something new. You know what I mean? So
And we wuss out too.
And we do.
It's like maybe we'll wait.
oh, absolutely, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah,
and that's
safety
part of
is
it too,
important.
right? Like you want to be comfortable, but you want to be pushed. Like our thing is like you don't know if you don't go. So you know if
Right.
you go out there, you got to learn something. And we're trying to aspire to be higher up with some of these other people that are doing crazy things. But we're just out here just recording what we do for fun. And we're glad that now, like, it was crazy. Like some of our videos, I would never have imagined more than like, my, well, I don't even know if my parents watch it, to be honest, but like, my pity friends that I text the link to. So the fact that some of our videos, have a few thousand views or whatever, like really appreciate just like following along. And it's good to be part of such a fun community. So
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I think like one of the best things of advice too, we got like, I think in the Kevin Callan book, it said like pushing ourselves outside of our comfort zone is like the more than the 3 days out in the
Yeah.
wilderness was really something big for us this summer. Is like after the third day, you really kind of start taking it in. I think.
Absolutely.
And I think that's what happened too for us.
mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So we love it.
Well, apparently everybody else in the chat loved it tonight too. So that was awesome.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah. So
Thank you everyone for hanging out.
yeah, feel free to
Watching.
message us and you know, we're always down to hang or chat. And like, I would love to, like, we watch these videos of like you guys and everybody else, and we're like, man, we could totally go on a trip with them. Like I was watching even like, you know, Tunis and you know, them, like started watching their French River video and just loving it. Right. And just everyone out here just seems like they're having a good time. And it's fun to have a community of people where it's like, you can go and like share these passions, and like, our friends and family like are super supportive, but they're like, oh, you went on a trip. What's that like? Right. And then now we have videos where we can show them, and like, we have a community where we can kind of like get involved. So we'd love to like, you know, hang out with people next year and do some trips and keep learning with you.
Yeah. That's awesome. And everybody, please go connect with Cait and Graeme, Grait Outdoors, right? On Instagram and on YouTube. And looking forward to more. Fun. Sure. Super fun.
Awesome. I know. Wait, it'd be kind of fun to do like just a little collab, you know, just like small group kind of thing, and have like a backcountry cook-off.
Oh, that'd be fun too. I even said it'd be really fun to go to Mew Campground in Algonquin. Everybody meet there. We'll like book a ton of sites. It'd be just it'd be a riot. Don't you think?
That would be.
I don't know how to do that, but I feel like everybody loves Algonquin. I mean, we might as well just go there, right?
For us to come across, and then for y'all to come over here. So
I think it'd be just even just like a car camping weekend would be just cool, like to hang out with
people and get to know.
Really in person. Maybe we'll plan it for the fall or something.
That'd be awesome.
We're busy. We're busy, but we'll have to plan something.
We love it. We'd be all for that. Sounds like a blast.
I think so too. Very cool. See, now we're an hour and a half, and you guys, how long are we going to chat tonight?
Oh yeah,
I love it.
I told you.
And even Canoe Hound, Dennis was like, "Oh, just go another half an hour."
Yeah, shout out to Dennis. Thanks, that's awesome.
He's probably still trying to warm up from watching the Grey Cup, man. He looked pretty cold out there.
Yeah, no kidding, eh?
Those are his tiger cats he liked, but they didn't win.
No.
Sorry, Dennis.
Yeah, tough finish for the Tie Cats, but
there you go.
Yeah.
Awesome. You guys have been so fun.
Thank you.
We've loved it. Thanks for having us on, and
you're
thanks.
welcome. I'm glad that we were able to connect and hang out and chat and
and we love your videos too, like the Isle Royale stuff. Like that was right.
It's coming. More's coming.
Yeah,
I mean that was just the first one. We still got a few more days to go.
I do. It's been fun. So
that's. I mean, I'll say it again. That's like a trip you definitely just keep going back. I'll just give you one little tidbit that you'll get in one of the videos. But we came across a couple of guys. One gentleman's been there 32 times.
Jeez.
Wow.
Another gentleman was there. It was his 13th time there.
It's crazy.
And I mean, trails they change a little bit. I mean, of course, depending on the time of the season when you go, so you get a little variation of that. But it's just every time they say they take a trail, they see something different. The guy who's been there 32 times, he said he's seen 8 wolves and 20 some moose.
It's just nuts. But I feel like people become enamored with the island,
I mean, just
definitely.
It's like you're gonna get the gig with Wabakimi.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be like your vice now, right? You're like, how can I go back? When can I go or whatever? So I know.
Yeah, just a little tidbit there.
Yeah, that's awesome. We need to do more. I mean, Cait loves hiking. Like Cait loves peaks. Like she wants to get to the top of the mountain. Like height's not really my thing. I'm like more of a valley, waterfall, river, stream, that kind of thing. Cait's like, get me to the top, get me to the overlook, get me to the vistas. And I'm just like, and Rook's up there with Cait, and I'm like dying behind, like sweating. Like, more water. Where's the snacks? Like, so hiking's more Cait's thing, but we'll keep pushing and keep doing some fun stuff out there.
I'm a hiker girl too. Love it. My jam, definitely.
Awesome.
Definitely.
All right. Well, hey, I'm going to drop you guys down. Hang tight here for a second.
All right. Sounds good.
Thank you guys so much for coming on, y'all.
Yeah. Thanks.
You are so welcome.
Yeah.
All right. Hang tight. Well, that was cool.
Amazing. We just met new friends.
Oh, we're going to Wabakimi, huh?
It's on the list, honey.
Yeah. There's a lot on the list.
I know. But when you hear of a cool story And it's just, I don't know. I like the challenge of it. And
I want to go check out the Skull and Crossbones.
I feel like we're supposed to stay away from the Skull and Crossbones.
Yeah.
I know.
I'm going to push you.
Everybody, go and check out Graeme and Cait. So Grait Outdoors, Instagram
And YouTube.
YouTube, please. Chat was fun tonight.
Oh, yeah. We
Really
had
interactive,
lot
all
of great-
good.
Yes.
And like Johnny had said, it's kind of like just, sitting around the campfire and
With a couple cold ones.
yeah, and and it's true. I mean, you have a drink with old friends and new friends alike, right? So it's that that like-minded attitude.
That's a lot of likes.
It's a lot of. That's okay. I like a lot of likes.
Well,
So
we
it's all
hope you
good.
all enjoyed the show tonight. If you did,
And-
please hit that little like button.
Oh yeah,
Tell your
like
friends,
everything.
tell your neighbors.
Subscribe because there's lots going on. Because like what we had said at the beginning of the
Okay.
show is
Starting tomorrow, 10 a.m.,
okay.
we have 13 channels.
Yes.
Hiking channels.
Yes.
We are all partaking in what is called the 12 Days of Christmas.
Yes.
This starts on December 26th.
When the first giveaway is going to be.
So check out our video drop tomorrow, and then you'll be able to see all the other channels that are going to be partaking, so you can be part of the 12 Days of Christmas giveaway.
Right. So all 13 channels are giving away a prize for a Christmas giveaway.
Or prizes.
Or prizes, actually, which is amazing. So you have an opportunity to win one prize, all of them. All you need to do is go and watch everybody's launch video, which is going to get dropped tomorrow, like Johnny said, at 10 o'clock tomorrow.
You have to be a subscriber to their
Subscribe.
channel and follow their rules on how
they want you to
enter.
That's right. So our giveaway day, though, even though we're dropping your video tomorrow, you have up until January the 1st to keep entering our video giveaway, or Christmas giveaway rather, and
we'll be doing a live.
We're going to do a live stream and announce our winner on January the 1st at 7 p.m.
Eastern Standard Time.
Right, and then what we'll do is we'll put that on our community tab, and we'll throw it on like Instagram or whatever, so everybody knows.
We get closer.
But,
there'd be little reminder hints here and there.
If you're looking for camping gear, if you're looking for hiking stuff, you're looking for fun outdoor things, this is pretty epic.
This is very
so
epic.
Stay tuned tomorrow, and thanks again for watching tonight.
We'd like to thank Mark
Super
Goes
awesome.
Hiking, who started this program.
We do. So thank you, Mark. You are amazing. And we have another Backcountry Couples
next week. Tune in Monday on Instagram to see who it'll be.
That's right. That's awesome. Wonderful. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, you all, for coming back.
I know. Thanks for being patient.
Of course.
I know. It was good. It was nice.
Who doesn't want to hang out with the
cool kids? That's right. That's what Graeme says. So I'm going with it.
Right. Bigfoot
On that note, we're going to say, see you later, everybody. Have a good weekend.
Peace out, Cub Scouts. We'll see you all next class.
Cheers.
Take it easy. And we're hitting the end.